in every meeting, being told that we are ANC members and that we were having discussions, political discussions, with the people, leaders of the ANC. They were actually teaching us the politics of the ANC policies and all that. But after the meeting, they go their way and we go our way.
So I want to talk about you guys going your way. So are you tenants at someone's back house, backyard, Mkukunyana? What were you like?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. We were tenants.
Okay.
So we had to, I couldn't survive on the 20 rand because the 20 rand on itself was the rent at the time.
Yeah.
So we had to
work and
we had to be at least 4 or 5 or 6
squatting,
yes, in that room, so that we can pay the rent and
still eat.
And still eat, yes.
Okay.
Excuse me. But around the mid-month, the groceries would be
depleted. Yeah.
Yes.
Depleted.
It would be depleted, and we had to go and ask for food from these comrades, Chris, Hani, and others, and they would give us something just for us to sustain us till the month end, and then not money, just groceries. Yes. From this one and that going. Yeah. Some go to that one, some go to that one. Yes. Then, such a situation. But at one time, I remember in 1981, around March, as we were going to these various leaders of the ANC asking for food and all that, some went to Tozamile Border's place. Tozamile Border was from Rebecca, then Port Elizabeth at the time. And he was a civil activist, yes, there in Port Elizabeth. So many of those who came from Port Elizabeth knew him, and he knew some of us. So he would help us from time to time. But in this instance, he's coming from Lusaka.
Yes.
He's coming from Lusaka. He says, "Hey, comrades, you know what? I'm just from Lusaka. And in Lusaka, they gave me 1 million rands for this region. So don't worry, go to Chris, and Chris will sort you out." Now you can imagine what was going through the minds of those who were listening to this. They couldn't believe that so much money could be there, whilst others were suffering. Mm-hmm. So instead of going to Chris and asking for money or what, they called each and every one of us
for a meeting.
Hey! So we were there receiving this news. It's good news, of course. And then,
who must go approach him?
Now we're trying to ask who's going to go there and ask Chris Hani. And then, any volunteers? There were volunteers. They went there. But whilst they were on the way there, I don't know how this happened. Whilst they were going there, I and my other comrade I was staying with, we left this place of a meeting, and then some were still around there, just talking, Then it so happened that I don't know how all this came to Chris Hani's knowledge that we were holding a meeting. Those we left there were surrounded and taken and shoved in a combi and taken outside to a grave somewhere outside Maseru, and they were beaten up. They were beaten up.
Are they the delegates who were going to ask for money, or those who were in a meeting?
They were in. The meeting was already over.
Yes.
So they were just around,
hanging around,
chatting amongst themselves. The two delegates were there, were on the way.
Or on the way. So they're not part of this work.
They're not a part of this.
And then you guys had already left the scene.
Yes,
okay.
Luckily I left the scene. So they were rounded up. So I hear all this from my other two comrades with whom I was staying in this place in Maseru. Because when I left the place, I went straight to my place, prepared food for the night, and I was in bed. It was early, but because it was winter, just as I'm saying, it's March, April 1981, it's cold in Lesotho, and I was snugging there under the blankets, reading this African Communist, and then I had a knock on the door. I said, come in. It was cold. I didn't even want to open the door because it was not locked. So these two people come in. It was not yet dark. So they come in, they come close to me. They say, hey, they look around the place, and then they see this portrait of Steve Biko just above my head on the wall. I said, are you of PCM? Are you of PAC? I said, no. I'm still inside the blankets. No. That portrait, I'm just doing it for my friend who's from the PAC. So you have PAC friends? I said, yes, and we know each other from home, so that's where it ends.
You already know at the time that you could be in trouble because of the other ones? Or you are just speaking?
At that time, I don't know what had happened after leaving the meeting. I'm not aware at all. So I'm seeing these two strangers who are prowling at my place, inspecting my place.
Yes.
And they say to me, okay, they leave the place. Suddenly they come in again. They say, your two friends will tell you what happened to them for Uqaila Hambi ANC.
Sure.
In other words, these two have done something they shouldn't have done. And then I saw these two comrades I was staying with. They said to them, hey, tell them what happened. And I saw them. They were sullen faces. And these two left.
Yeah.
So my two friends, my two comrades, told me that just after I had left, there came these guys and others with two combis, and they packed them inside the combis and took them to the graveyard and beat them up. And I said, yo, what is this happening now? I mean, I could see that they've been brutally assaulted. And I became angry and I became afraid at the same time. I was asking myself, what kind of a comrade does this to his other comrade? I suddenly took out that picture of Steve Biko and simply destroyed it in fear for my own